It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
The things I do to complete a contract.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite averse to spending time with us.
Ah, you're up. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
You seemed quite averse.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens. Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise. My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because, to answer your question, what the collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's. The good ship Merryweather. But you can stand at ease there, Private. You do realize you're not in any army here, don't you?
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to source. For good.
Murderer taken into this room. Or was he already?
Bloody murder. Looks like someone's hit the Hall of Echoes a little early.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwoken followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, there wouldn't be a Magister. It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
Why won't you sing? I know
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
It was one of them. I know it.
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cats to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us would kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut
You
up.
look like my daddy. His name is Frida. He's waiting for me at home.
Insufferable, surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that? The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And? Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close.
There's nothing else I can make.
There now, just like that.
Turnips and water are all I was given.
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy. No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken...
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
Turnips and water are all I was given.
You one of them? A divine order loyal? They killed a sorcerer, you know. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but make no mistake.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly... Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? Ah, music to my beleaguered stomach. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can cook, but you have the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Good find.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Majesty's more concern and more appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Fuss and tight.
You put a knuckle in it. I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you
An
that
elf
knuckle.
sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, it seems you and another elf engaged in an action somewhat similar to the one I just performed. Only rather more vigorously.
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
I wasn't doing anything!
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this loser woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
One of us will get our own.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
I am reading. Is this not evident? My book is in my hands, my face turned away from you. Perhaps my eyes not on the page. Damnable things.
He grabs a metal plate and watches his reflection with one eye as the other shifts left to right and up to down. He repeats the maneuver with the opposite eye.
No, they are working quite adequately. It seems you are at fault. Predictable, really. Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough. It is pleasurable to meet you. Is there? Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. No. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? I'm glad to hear it. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Turnips and water are all I was given.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
I've never dined on anything.
This again.
You seem on edge,
I don't
officer.
intend to do away
What on earth is the matter?
All about it.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened? Damn it. Need to get off this wreck. Quick. Oh, damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards. This thing snaps into splinters.
Great God! Something's pounding on the hull!
On the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is, a warning of death fog within. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb. It doesn't budge.
That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us in here. Had to open you, mate.
Never leave them.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding.
If you can walk, get yourself up the ladder. Wait, wait, wait.
I thought Voidwood was supposed to be scary. Let the gates begin.
They were about to fight us. These mules will sink the ship on my way.
No telling where there might be more. We need to move.
Not Harry. This old tub is about to burst.
Away! The sea's hungry. We don't have much time.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
So the Order's right about one thing. We attract Voidwoken. Am I the lone survivor? Only one way to find out. Any man who put his likeness in stone is a fool in my book.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? But are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe they're waiting for me back at home. But you didn't die. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
You spot a strange lizard, gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red colour. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? White, which goes for the dry parts round here too, I imagine.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the Seven have mercy on their own creation. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World Tamer, the spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer. one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh well, that wishy-washy answer will have to do then. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic and, yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off. A black cat. A herald of wisdom in my homeland. How fortuitous.
1, 2, long dead as a creek. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore. Hey, mister. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. Now where shall I put this one? 1, 2, long dead of the crew. 3, 4, pretty shells on the shore.
Now speak. I am a
Alexander.
I would not
But
dream of
wait,
subverting our
he's too...
cause.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Stay silent, you!
Bishop Alexander looks up at the sound of your voice, curiosity on his face. Recognition seems to flicker in his eyes for a moment, but then he shakes his head and looks back towards the suffering Atusa. Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
I wonder where this leads.
You walk up to a skeleton unlike any you have ever seen before. His skull seems to be carved into intricate patterns with a gemstone sitting in the middle of his forehead. Approaching, you hear a profane rumble from the undead beast.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. Oh, yes. An exceptionally common, but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Because my own was stolen from me. And the idea of being chased across Rivellon by every idiot with a torch does not appeal. Oh, get away! Monster! Hide the children! Oh. You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... Well, not my kind, but those that look like me. So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features. Oh, don't be ridiculous. I have important things to do on Reaper's Coast. I cannot simply sit about waiting for the rest of you to die so I may continue my business in peace. No, I may be an eternal, but my patience has its limits. Indeed, I may be the only eternal. My people seem rather absent, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. We were all one. I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill. But I fear the limits of your imagination would not do us justice. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world again. Ah, well, that is the curious thing. They are clearly absent from this world, and yet they are everywhere. Every one of your races resembles them in some manner, and the statues you have built to your gods look remarkably familiar. Perhaps my people have ascended to some new realm, or perhaps your gods are merely a folk memory. Regardless, they are not here, but I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There's rather a lot to see. Splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
Did you see him? You did, right? Those claws.
Wonder what's behind the masks, too. Can't be pretty. The Geists, dummy. The Hammer and Alexander had two in tow just a moment ago. Ugh. Thought you lot would be interested in a thing like that. Got that right. It's a new dawn and a new order. Out with Source, out with Void, and in with the days of Dallas. Hurrah! Now why don't you move along and settle in? A Magister will come and find you when they're ready for you. Could be a while, though. We're up to our hoods in sinners these days.
Come on then, Lexi. Hey up.
I find only bread. I want.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself. They were so close, almost within arm's reach. They were just there but a moment ago.
Disgusting. Just like all your kind.
Disgusting like theft. Disgusting like threats.
Great
on, old
God.
man.
Will you quit
I can't
dragging
wait
this
all
on?
day.
Ain't that hard, Lexi. Just hand over the gold.
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't like to pay her fair share. Pay up, Elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you. Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food, for protection. No exceptions. Especially not for elves. Griff's orders.
Food? Protection? I have neither.
Runs the kitchen. Means he runs me, you, and everyone else in camp. You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the Magisters enforcing round here. A fool never knows what they've got till it's well and gone. Now come on, Elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be... We got a system, and it looks like you don't want to fit in.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Oh, I don't feel so good. Alice, you like it.
A little reprieve from the din outside.
Wait, I call a timeout.
thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf.
She bows.
It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great violence. The Magisters come. My family runs, but I fall. My son looks back. I shout to him to run. I am taken. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute Griff rules. He who gives the bread has the power. I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through. Through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs, I can stand, but I fear the Magisters. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but I can think of no finer occasion than this. Thank you.
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Your kind I handle, but small ones. Stay in this cave a while longer. Provoke Modi, the wild one who runs like his clothes catch fire. I see how you feel then.
Wait, I call a timeout.
Whack! Back, evil ogre, or I'll get you with my sword! Spare you this time, beast, but don't cross me again. Ever! You're really fun. Hey, I'm gonna hide somewhere in the cave, and you come find me. Ready? Go! You found me! Okay, wait. Let me hide again. Ready? Go! You found me! Okay, wait. Let me hide again. Go! Ooh! Wow! You're really smart. I bet. You know what? I know how to spell introduce. It's I-N-T-R-O-D-U-C-E. My way is too small for you. You'll have to find another. Hope you brought a shovel.
I've spotted something.
I am not opposed to manual labor if circumstances require.
Wither, this is my new friend. He's really smart. You'll like him a lot.
Please, small child, leave me to my ruminations.
But he's really nice and tall. Maybe he can even help you with that thing.
Why? A grown friend? You brought an adult here? Good gods. Can it be? You! Tell me true. Stand you with the Source Hunters, or do you serve the tyrant Brachus Rex? 1,000 years, Gods, the walls of this pit have leached a whole millennium from me. I haven't seen a living soul in all that time. What a strange notion. A wicked king it was, Brachus Rex by name. The Order of the Source Hunters discovered a great horror upon this prison isle, and I was sent to stop it. Yet my failure was absolute. I am not fit to bear the insignia of the Source Hunters any longer. Please, good sir, you must free me. Prise this spear from my chest, where it has been stuck fast for the last 1,000 years. Seize the spear. End this degradation. I beg you. Good sir, you have set my body free, free to crumble to dust at last. But my spirit, blast! I remain trapped in this mouldering skeleton yet. A spell most terrible. I have heard of such magic, but have never known anyone so foul as to employ it. Brachus Rex, may maggots lace his entrails. After he interred me in this cell, he must have drawn my very soul away from me and stored it elsewhere in the fort. Thus he has bound me entirely to the mundane realm. But I know this place well. I could lead you to its likely location. In turn, you would find a path straight out of this fort. My freedom for yours. What say? Marvelous, my friend. Marvelous. You'll first have to get inside the fort itself. There's a secret switch on a statue of the Seven in the courtyard. Surely you know it. The switch will open a hatch, and you'll be led into the prison's main floor. I suspect that within Brachus's phylactery room, you will find the container which ensnares my soul. He has likely disguised it well, but search there for another hidden switch. Brachus would have made me a supplicant, a slave to these walls. With your help, I'll die. At last. With dignity. I was fully briefed about this awful place before I came. My goal was to destroy the fiend who had been marshalling the world's most unwholesome weapons and magic into an army he intended to use against the realm. I never thought I would become one of his victims. And yet, here I am. Fort Joy is a dangerous place, my friend. Dangerous indeed. Brachus used this place to build an arsenal of terrible weaponry as yet unseen in our world. Here, he and his researchers crafted punishments and snares contrary to human dignity. Objects that could contain souls, wands that could purge the very essence from sorcerers. My order would never have used such barbaric magic against our enemies.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns towards you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. Quite the blood-soaked journey has led you here. You are not who you once were, and I sense you are not yet who you will be. I see it before my eyes.
Wary all of a sudden, she takes a step back from you.
I cannot offer you much more than my sympathies. Our fates are intertwined, yours and mine. This clouds my vision. Yes, please ask. Oh, I do not cover my eyes. I cover the place they used to be. They are gone now, taken, but I see all the same. He is a very blind man. He sees things but not truth, not love or joy. I feel very sorry for him. You understand when you meet him after you escape. My home is far. Your language gives me some trouble. We elves, time for us is now. There is not then and when. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff. He makes no trouble for us.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He knows how to leave. My protector, my friend. An elf like me, with a spirit bright as new leaves. He tries to help me, to save me, and he suffers very much. He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you what you seek, a way out. You bring me great peace. Thank you, my friend. I miss him very much. I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a lizard of many dreams, of far feeling. You do not free Amiro without him.
Is that thing eating corpses?
The creature heaves through lips gummed with human gore. It turns to you with great effort, pain apparent in every movement, and madness screams from its wide, bloodshot eyes.
You. Quite lost. Quite lost. Careful, or they'll cross your wires. Now, a little query. Where grows the yarrow? Quickly now, for I haven't much time. Maybe I unscrew your lid and poke about inside and set your memory straight. Would that please you? Can you not remember now? Where, oh where does the yarrow grow? Where?
Always late. You there? I'm looking for an inmate. He wears a large bronze ring with a dragon stamped into it. Name of Migo. Have you seen him? You have seen him? Tell me, where was he? And you're very sure it was him?
The ring sits heavily in her hand. Her fingertips droop under its weight, and it seems about to fall to the ground when she grasps it tightly and holds it to her breast.
He was my father. This can't be. You said he was upon the beach, yes? I need to have a look myself. This simply can't be.
She stands stock still with her eyes closed for a moment, then turns away without another word.
Hey, I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a mock elegant curtsy.
Back then I was Madame Josephine Gribbles de Pube, and you were Iffen Ben Mezd, right? Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? I saw you fall. We all did. Thought you were done for. When we get out of this place, I owe you a pint. So you managed to swim to safety, is that it? What about when you were in the water? Didn't hear anything unusual, did you? I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the only...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus, and her whole body goes rigid. She is stock still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... hospitable? Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied. Now, isn't that just the question of the hour? I can't be sure just yet. I'll be surprised if it's a demon. Definitely not a sprite either. Maybe a spectre, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah, same story here. Reckon in my case, they might actually be right, though. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if... when push comes to shove. Lately, I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be? Sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought, and I'll do my best to stay myself. Lead the way.
Ha! I found you, didn't I? Red, they said. Red, then dead. Not an attempt, mate. Not if I can bloody help it. Time's up, Your Highness. Let's dance.
horrible surrounding for an agreeable conversation, but go ahead. Dozens, I should imagine, but if we're talking about the ones that came after my exile, this would be number 5. Let them come, I say. Keeps one sharp. There was a small incident which prompted my many rivals to move against me. Technically, they had the letter of the law on their side. Such a nuisance, the law. Quite necessary to keep the common in line, of course, but one such as myself it should exempt as a matter of course. Notice that, did you? For future reference, if I don't answer a question, it's because I don't want to. I hardly know you as yet. Let's leave some mystery in the relationship, shall we? We can exchange criminal records later.
Hey, what's your hands, Pipspock? What are you loitering round here for? I got my good eye on you, bub. Make it quick. Sure. Pal of mine made it as far as the Hollow Marshes even. They dragged his corpse back the next day. Head pulled clean off by a ghost. I saw it myself. Hell if I know. Don't rightly know if it can be done. If they take the sauce out of you, what are you? I never seen one myself, but me cousin up in Gore said one appeared from the clear sky one day and ate up every child under the age of 12. I don't know where they come from, but without the divine, there ain't much we can do to stop them.
So this is Fort Joy.
For delivery. Surely you'll have one.
What a crumbling disaster.
Scram, snake. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm very tired. Abominably tired. Beg your pardon.
Griff is slowly, methodically peeling the skin from a potato. As you approach, he looks up, setting the potato, but not the sharp little knife, down on the table.
What? Out with it.
He smirks and holds the little knife up to the light, watching it glint.
I'm listening. A Myro. Bloody elves. I guess you mean the clown I caught stealing from my kitchen. He's not going anywhere. Supplies. A crate of food, citrus in particular. He'll talk, or he'll die quiet. Alls I want is my supplies. Happy to let this clown die in a gutter instead of my kitchen. Bring back my crate, and you got yourself a deal. You already know the terms. Nothing else to say. Sure, have a look.
If a Magister finds this on you,
Ain't fit for beasts.
hey! You're a little light in your pack, ain't you, mate? Who could blame you with the garbage they got for sale round here? Why don't you take a gander at the goodies I got? Stuff you won't find anywhere else in camp. Procured by special means. Let's just say folks leave here, but they don't seem to take their effects. Maybe I happen to know where everything ends up. Fend for yourself then, sweetheart. I'll take what I want after the Reds get to you anyway. Haven't got shanked through the gills yet? Give it.
Worse than war ration, please. Leave him be. Don't make me say it again.
Listen, I can help you if you just...
Shut up, elf.
Like you wanted.
Take your coin, then. I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter a match and let some of that frustration out the right way? You'll find out. Down the hatch, then.
Heading into the kitchen? Don't try anything funny around, Griff. I'm watching you. Well, he runs this place and everyone in it, including you. Better to make yourself useful to him if you're stuck here anyway. That's what I did. Need something in the kitchen, do you?
The shrine depicts Lucian the Divine, avatar of the 7 gods. You hear a strange sound, like rusted hinges creaking and air rushing through a tunnel. A hatch appears behind the shrine.
Shrine, by the looks of it.
He has spoken! Lucian has spoken! The eternal prayer! It's worked!
Watch yourself, boy.
Amid the squalor of Fort Joy, you suddenly spot an elf with diamond features, regal and radiant, but cold too, and sharper than any knife. She was the one who sat rolling dice in the ship that went under, deciding fates with every roll, or so she said. Her eyes are focused on a lizard some distance away, and you get the distinct feeling he's an unfortunate man indeed to be trapped in her tiger-like gaze. No sooner have these words left your mouth than she turns about and grabs you in a stranglehold. You feel the tip of a long needle being pushed a little ways into your neck.
You caught me off guard. No one catches me off guard. Better tell me who you really are, or this time, I'll let my needle do the licking. You can see quality, but lone wolves, amateurs all. Also, I thought, you do tread on soft paws, Ifan.
A push, a pivot, and now you suddenly face her. The needle still all too deeply embedded in the side of your throat. Despite the precariousness of your situation, you notice something that remained undetected in the gloom of the ship. A flaw in her diamond features. A curiously shaped scar on her left cheek.
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a bad old time, a lizard cut this thing, this living scar, into my cheek. The mark of a slave. But now I'm free, of sorts. And I've traced that lizard here, to Fort Joy. I intend to raise the subject with him. No!
She drives the needle in deeper and whispers.
In truth, it does not matter in the least who you really are. You saw me mark my prey. You could warn him, save him, or kill him before I get my chance. That makes you a liability. That makes you needle feed.
A bright sparkle of laughter follows your proposal.
Ha! How amusing. I admit I had not seen that twist coming. I was certain the pitiful begging was about to begin. Make your case and do it quickly. Why should I join you? Escape? How you do tickle me. Most of the misguided dears around here would argue such a thing is impossible. Well played. Oh, little needle mine, what should I do? Push or pull? The agony of choice. You know what? Today is a rather fine day. Sunshine and an easy breeze. Yes, I'll let you live. I'll even agree to travel with you, provided we talk to that lizard I mentioned. I'm not quite sure the weather will save him.
With a casual flick of the wrist, she withdraws the needle from your neck and smiles, as if she just invited you to sit down for tea.
Let's discuss our respective roles then, shall we? You, me, and Death will be playing many a round of hide and seek. So, what role would you like me to play? As a rogue, my speciality is stealth, the quick silence of the dagger striking unseen. That said, I'm perfectly lethal wielding any weapon or magic. So, the choice is yours. Suits me fine. Lead on, or better yet, let me take the lead. Then follow me. But wait, you seem to have quite a few followers already. We'll be far too conspicuous traveling in a caravan like that. Return to me once you've culled a couple.
Just as you're about to address the lizard, the Red Prince bars you with an outstretched arm.
This man is a dreamer. As you know, I need a word with him. You may wait here while I speak. Permission indeed.
He bids the dreamer stand up and pay attention, which he does in a groveling and awkward manner. The dreamer then chews and swallows a handful of Drudenay leaves before slipping into a trance-like state. He falls asleep. To your surprise, the Red Prince lies down and follows suit. After about half an hour, they wake up and begin to discuss what they saw in their dreams. The Red Prince pinches the bridge of his nose in apparent irritation before turning his back on the jabbering dreamer. You receive a withering glance in response.
A deserved bit of sarcasm, I suppose. But though this stingtail fellow may be a less than stellar specimen in the firmament of dreamers, the dreams themselves prove to be quite elucidating. Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know actually existed. The myth-shrouded House of Shadows. The dreamers, though, they're on my side. And they've visions of me on the throne. Of course it is. I was born with the promise of an empire, and that promise will be kept. But to keep it, I must find a second dreamer. A greater one. A more experienced traveler of the dream world. Bahara is her name, and she resides in the swamplands east of the fort. So, let us make our escape and venture there post-haste.
You know, I could tell you all about swamp dreamers, too, if I chewed that much Drudenay.
Oh, do hold.
What? But I was... It was... Please, tell me. Tell me. Why did you wake me? I was so close, so close. So close to the dream. It's been so long. You wouldn't understand. Please, please leave me be. Supplies? You mean the oranges, I suppose. Though I'd guess Mr. Griff is more upset about the Drudenay than the citrus. The Drudenay Griff cleverly smuggles into the prism, of course, stuffed inside the oranges. You don't think he'd really be so mad over a little missing fruit, do you? No, it's not the oranges, but the dreams he's after. Same as I, though. I have the right, the responsibility. Drudenay, it makes you master of all you see when you sleep. The dreamer is not the play actor, but the playwright. It may be hard for you to understand, but my kind, we dream for the greater good. What we see can predict the truth, can even shape the truth. But we need Drudenay to do it. Before I was caught, before I was brought here, I saw a vision. The void woken, slain, divinity restored. But just as I was about to see how it happened, the Magisters beat down my door. This is my last chance to find out the secret, to find out how to save us all. So you see, I cannot give back the Drudenay, not only for myself, but for all of us. My dreams are my gift. They may be our salvation, too. You know what has consequences, my friend. Being digested by a void woken. That has consequences. I'll thank you to leave me to my business.
This looks like the crate I'm after. But where are the contents?
You understand? Then why do you wake a dreamer? You should know. You should know. Oh, I was so close. And you smell of burnt hair
and barren dreams. But I have the good breeding not to mention it. So close to the dream. It's been so long. You wouldn't understand. Please, please leave me be.
The lizard startles awake. His eyes...
What then? What is it? Oranges. Is that what he told you he's missing? Well, I suppose it's technically true. Though I'd guess Mr. Griff is more upset about the Drudine than the citrus. It's all here, I'm afraid, on my person. You found your thief. But I am anything but one of those sniveling addicts you'll find creeping around the kitchen. I need to dream. I, above all others, it is my vocation, my responsibility. Now, Drudine, it makes you master of all you see when you sleep. The dreamer is not the play actor, but the playwright. You, my kin, ought to understand. And you'll believe me when I tell you, I need to dream. Before I was caught, before I was brought here, I saw a vision. The void woken, slain, divinity restored. But just as I was about to see how it happened, the Magisters beat down my door. This is my last chance to find out the secret, to find out how to save us all. So you see, I cannot give back the Drudine, not only for myself, but for all of us. My dreams are my gift. They may be our salvation, too. Go ahead. It'll be you that dooms us all, then. Huh? What? But I was... It was... And you smell of oranges, though the Drudine... No, it's not the oranges, but the... Drudine... Before I... But just... So you see, I cannot give back the Drudine, not only for myself, but for all of us. My dreams are my gift.
The lizard looks dumbfounded. You reach into his pocket and take the Drudine. He does not resist. Griff glances from his blade to you and back again.
Spare the indignation and hand it over. Now. Good boy. Looks like everything's accounted for. Now the important question. Who's the thief?
This Griff is nothing but a thug. Don't give up Stingtail so easily.
I don't want Stingtail's blood on my hands.
Griff would kill a fellow over petty theft. Giving up Stingtail is no better than murder.
I'm right chuffed to have my supplies back, so I'm gonna give you one last chance. Tell me who you found them on, or you're gonna have to answer to me, my knife, and each one of my people. And your little elf friend won't make it out alive neither. That's a kid. Your guy's free to go. He should be fine. Eventually.
Good.
It is done. And quickly. I thank you. Very, very much. I hold my end of the bargain. I show you the way out. But I have something more to ask of you. Yes, I become fine. And so much more when you agree to finish what I start. Sahela, she is everything. A ruler, a seer, a knower, a child. She cannot be lost here. It is for all our people, for the world. Give me your map. I show you the way out. A secret. Dangerous. But it leads to freedom.
I give you this amulet. You must pass it to the elves who still remain. Tell them Sahela is here. They will send help. Please. She is important.
I go to her. I wish you good luck, and I thank you for us all.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me. I do not have much to give, but I owe you all I have. Take this. Thank you. Thank you.
As you approach the young elf, Losa suddenly grabs your arm. Her hand is damp. Her face looks pale and grey.
Hey, listen, I don't know why, but I think I need to talk to this elf. You mind? I can't. I just need to talk to her, okay?
She turns towards Sahela. She darts over to the elf without responding. They begin talking in earnest, more quietly than you can overhear. Losa suddenly snatches up both the elf's hands and leans close to her. Her voice rises.
You have to tell me.
The whites of Losa's eyes fade to grey, then black. The colour runs into her veins, crisscrossing her skin like lightning. She keeps hold of Sahela's hands.
It rises in you even now, Losa. Do not let it. You must be strong. Be strong. Fight. Fight. You are okay. You are yours. No one else's.
I can't. I can't.
Losa is fighting an enemy. She will win. She must win.
Shut up. Let go. Let go. Let go. I don't want to hurt her. Don't make me.
Losa is rigid as a board, tense with the effort of holding Sahela's hands in tight, painful bunches.
Leave me alone. Leave me. I don't want to.
You are hurting me.
Losa's eyes are black. Sahela's fingers are white under her grasp.
Let me go. Please.
A sinister smile spreads across Losa's lips. She jerks the elf toward her.
Chatty, chatty elf. Chatty elf with all the answers. I wonder what your blood tastes like.
Losa, please. You must not defend her. She wakes if she is weakened. We must hurt her to protect her, you see?
I bet the elf blood tastes like honey, like nectar, like joy itself. Let's find out.
You must weaken Almost enough. A few more hits. She comes back to us when she's weaker. Yeah, thanks.
She breaks into a huge, childlike grin as you approach.
One friend brings another home. Thank you. He gets better, little by little. We are together. We always get better if we are together.
Her face falls at the mention of her home. Her hands fly instinctively to her eyes, as if to wipe away tears. But she stops herself.
My people, I miss them, but they cannot save me. It is not to be. We stay in Fort Joy. They stay elsewhere. This is the way. This is the only way. Homeland is gone. Home is wherever my people are. My mother is amongst them. Tova, a great elf. I do not mind Fort Joy, but I miss her very much. Yes, it is a deep hurt. In my tribe, we say, the heart lives in the family cookpot. It is true, I think. Thank you, my friend. But only you survive the passage. I see it. You are free. We must remain. I see your heart. You want only to help. But if you want to help me, you must go alone.
She squeezes your hand.
I do not forget you. Remember me too.
That face, it's almost familiar, like a long-faded memory. The droplet burns both hot and cold, and yet you feel no pain. You step towards the flow, desiring more, wanting desperately for it to take you, and darkness envelops you.
Get that girl and her head sucker out of here.
I guess he's talking about you?
Let's just see about that. Hey, loudmouth. What gives?
I'm trying to relax here, aren't I? Whatever's going on with you and your passenger, I don't really need it in my vicinity.
You can see it.
See? Nay. Sense? Good gods, yes.
You're a mystic too.
Mystic? Ha! Used to be a sort of demonologist, though. Was learning the arts, at least. Never did have much of a knack for it, to be honest. Studied under a real maestro, though. Learned this and that, too. Doubt it. Exorcism's a Tier 3 skill. I was only halfway through Tier 1 when I got thrown in here.
Come on, make yourself useful. There's got to be something you can do.
Well, I might be able to tell you exactly what's inside you. Might be any number of things. A ghost, a floater, a lucid dreamer who took a wrong turn somewheres. Let me try something.
He places a thumb on each of Losa's temples and one foot gently on hers.
Now, let's see. Wow! Holy, holy, holy! You ought to thank your lucky stars. That thing hasn't turned you into a meat puppet by now.
Crick on a cracker.
You need help. Serious help.
Don't I know it?
Do me a favour. Get out of here and hie ye to the north of Driftwood. My old master was hot on the heels of something there, and if anyone can help you, he can.
Driftwood, Old Master, Hot Hills. Got it.
I don't dare say it now. Not while our guest is listening. Don't you worry. With something like that inside you, Loser, he'll either come to you, or you'll be drawn to him soon enough. Sorcerer! What do you think you're doing, prowling around inside the fort? There's not a magister within 100 miles who'd trust one of your kind to deliver any kind of message at all. Any other tales you want to try? Go on. I could use a good laugh. Or else what? Who you gonna call, Buck?
He looks you up and down.
Got a nice marble to you, haven't you? Good. My hands have been looking a little on the lean side.
How many of them did you let go?
I... Go on, speak.
That's why you're here.
It isn't right.
All right, Del. Isn't right to save the entire realm from divine, damned chaos.
Please.
God, no, I'm just going to your hands now. Let them go. This is our only hope against the Voidwood. Out of this treachery.
Yield to none. Is mine. You're not trying to escape, are you?
good find.
Please. Please. Healing. I need healing. Of course. Of course. They remove all the source from within. The husk that remains is left empty, soulless, easily controlled. They beat me for helping sorcerers. Children. We were trying to help them escape. I joined this order to serve the divine. He would never accept this torture. It is slavery. I serve the divine, not his son. I'm no fool, but his legacy is alive in all of us who long for justice. We can't have that while his relics are being used against civilians. There's a boat that can take you into the dunes beyond. 2 associates of mine run it. I can show you where. But they'll kill you on sight if you don't know the proper password. Heal me, and I'll gladly tell you. I feel it at work upon me already. Thank you, my friend. That is what separates you from the Divine Order. There is a waterway, a boat. Hand me a map. It isn't far. You'll meet some associates of mine. Tell them Madame Zur sent you, and they'll let you pass. Enough to matter, not enough to stage a coup. The Voidwoken have people terrified, not only for their lives, but for the very air they breathe, the sun that shines upon them. Dallas and Alexander offer a solution. People need solutions at a time like this, no matter the consequences. Some people, anyway. No, I imagine not. She's the headmistress of an orphanage in the far north. She keeps sorcerer children safe from the Divine Order. I can think of no nobler soul in all the realm. With her help, we've saved countless children from Dallas and Alexander, and we aim to save many more. You've given me a second life. I won't soon squander it, or forget what you've done. Thank you, my friend. I will settle this debt.
The elf's skin is pale as a corpse's, but his face contorts with inscrutable emotion. Joy, horror, and rapture flash over him like the changing surface of a pond. His eyes lock onto yours.
It's you! You! Oh, love, they've been looking high and low for you.
He spasms suddenly.
Do you know, Dallas? She fears us. Of course she does. She knows what we'll do. Atusa, a noble soul, brave, trying to help me, trying to help many of us. But they thought I could, maybe I could have. You need to go. Dallas, after she took me, she did something. My head. I feel like someone's rummaged their fingers through my skull. Get out while you can. Oh, love, I'm wrecked. Can't go. Couldn't move my feet. As likely to stab you in the neck as shake your hand.
He giggles coquettishly, then bellows like a bear.
Leave!
all right. I just... They do terrible things here. If they think for a second I'm trying to escape again, they'll do to me what they did to him. Not seen, heard. There's a man over there. They tortured him, questioned him. Seekers, something about God-woken. He didn't know anything, but they didn't care. I heard his screams. I heard something eating him from the inside. No. It can't happen to me. It can't. Outside, the bones are gnashing. In here, the Magisters are cutting, slicing, grinding, smashing. What to do? What to do? Poor thing. Poor fool. I hope it's an easy death then. Decapitation. Yes, I do wish that for you. No, take care.
Muffled sounds suggest that this scuffed old door leads up to the fort's main floor. It's bound to be crawling with Magisters.
Whatever lies ahead, it has been a pleasure travelling together.
Let's think twice about this. I don't fancy facing a mob of Magisters.
We've come this far. Whatever's behind that door can't stop us now.
The creature before you stares with sightless eyes and leans from side to side, like a puppet without strings.
That's an abomination, is what it is. I can't stop staring at it.
It seems to be even more primitive than the rest of its species. Fascinating.
But it's kind of fascinating, isn't it?
I've spotted something.
Looks like this place has been sealed up for a century or two.
There could be a good reason why no one dared to enter in the meantime.
Here lies Withermoore the Sage.
To none.
You sense a great whirl of energy within the jar. From its depths, a faint voice howls. This must be the container that holds Lord Withermoore's soul.
Withermoore held his end of the bargain. We should hold ours.
It would be cruel to keep a man's soul when we could easily free it.
Does our word mean nothing? Destroy the jar!
The jar smashes to smithereens on the floor.
Wither? Wake up! Wither?
You come to fight. You come to prove yourself. You come to be worthy. There can only be one, and you have but one chance. Good. Who aids you? Choose wisely. Whether you fail or succeed, you do not fight more than once. Well fought. You may yet be the one. You prove yourself again, and again, and again. A warrior traveling the path of the wand should not be collared like a pet. I suggest you see the Tinkerer. You are capable of so much more. Who do you challenge?
Someone will yet be chosen.
As you wish.
You cannot hurry the one. Patience does not come
Someone will
easy,
yet
however.
be chosen.
You don't become the one by winning just a match or two.
Each day brings us one step closer.
We will yet reveal the one.
You were decent in the arena, but you'll have to do better than that to be named the one.
I see your potential has begun to shine through.
You don't become the one by winning just a match or two.
Someone
Well done. Very well done. Tell me, what is your strategy in battle? You do not fight like others I have seen. A strategist. And yet you are not too circumspect to land the killing blow. A dangerous combination. I will keep my eye on you. The good one.
Not too worse for wear, are you? So, how'd it go? Don't get too chuffed now. Long way to go yet. Did you speak to the burnished one? Good. I doubt that's the last you'll be seeing of him. There are those of us who believe he's the key to ending all of this mess. The Order, the Voidwoken, all of it.
Who in their right mind would think of a thing like this? It's you. It's really you. You gave him hell, did you? You're the champ, ain't you? You could well be the one.
She clasps her blackened hands before her and seems for a moment on the verge of weeping.
Then you're our best hope. You may become the one.
She looks around, checking for prying ears, and lowers her voice.
It would mean everything. The one will prove himself above all others. The one will become divine. You may be the one to save us all. There's only one thing to do. I've got to set you free. Your collar. Let me take it off. What a privilege on me!
She manipulates the ring around your neck in several quick yet intricate motions. Off pops your collar, and a sense of relief swirls from deep within you.
You hear me now. You get out of this place. You keep fighting. You become the one. And you think of old Nibora when it's all over.
You there! What the devil are you doing without your collar?
Devil are you doing? Prefer a cage, do you? No skin off my nose. I've got the perfect cell for you. So, you'd rather die here and now than be cured, would you? Fine by me.
you don't listen to reason, maybe you'll have better luck than I. If I have to hear her calling after Irma another day, I might lose my head. And there's not a soul here who'd blame me.
Ah, you're back. Please, did you find Irma? She still hasn't returned. Where could she be, my dear girl? You've been talking to that snake, Jeff, haven't you? I don't know where he gets these obscene lies. It's sick, totally sick, to torture a mother so. You stay away from that man, do you hear me? Irma isn't. What Jess says is a lie. You hear me, sweetheart?
Don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold.
Change your mind about my offer yet? Believe whatever you want. This may be your attaboy. Who wouldn't? Finally someone with a little sense around here. The plan's simple, completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. I can't use it on myself, but with your help, we can both get out of here. There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. This item, though, it's in quite an unfortunate location. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me your map and I'll show you where to go. Not enough to trouble a fine specimen such as yourself. Get that artifact, and you and I are as good as free. Go give those overgrown lizards what for.
What's this? I found something.
So, what's the news? Well, I certainly got lucky with you, didn't I? The way out's nice and secluded. It starts in a little hidden alcove on the beach. Give me your map. I'll show you where to go. And hurry! Not a tick of the clock to spare! Come. This way, in the back. Follow me. Now, teleport me down to the ledge behind me near the tree stump. I'll bring you right after. Oh, we're almost free. Can you taste the ale? Oh, the scent of home.
just need to see you clearly. Come close to the edge as you can, friend. Simply perfect. Now, teleport me to that mossy rock across the gulch, just by the torch. You're almost there. Even the air smells better here above that pit. Thanks for the help, and good luck getting yourself out.
Looks like it's just you and me, Stumbly.
You then? What I'd prefer a cage.
As the Magister turns to face you, you feel Fane stepping up behind.
Have you seen these contraptions? This must be the Magister freak the blacksmith was referring to. He may have the very tool I need to craft my mask.
Fane cheerfully explains that he needs something to rip off a person's face, even demonstrating the idea by reaching over and tugging on the Magister's chin. Rather than reacting with horror, the Magister seems excited, very excited. He explains that he might have just the thing. Unfortunately, the Magister does not seem willing to part with it, no matter what Fane offers. The skeleton turns and storms away.
Who are you, you lovely little puppy?
He reaches out and gently strokes your cheek.
Oh, so soft, so sweet. Please, come in. Oh, do make yourself at home, won't you? Well, this is my playground. A little sanctuary away from the ugly world upstairs. And my games, well, they leave marks. You're not listening, darling. Perhaps we should start with making a little more space within those ears of yours. Come, things. Time to die for Papa.
Exquisite. The perfect tool to rip a face from a corpse. I think I shall call it the Face Ripper. Now to harvest a few samples, gather some source orbs, and craft a new mask.
You again, mister. I don't like it down here. Don't like it at all. A bad man found me on the beach and brought me here. But I slipped away as soon as we got here. I just want to get out. The noises out there. Please help me get out. I just want to go to the beach and play with my shells again. But that grate is too heavy for me.
You take a deep breath. You have escaped Fort Joy at last.
How lovely. I could really do with a banquet right about now. No one amongst you is a gourmet chef by any chance.
Well, blessings be. I am most grateful to have traded a sunny seaside for a dank swamp.
Out of the prison camp into the bog. You watch my back, I'll watch yours.